All right. Yeah, I'm just gonna get right into this. Apologize if I sound sick. Kind of getting over cold like everyone else is, but uh, wanted to make a video. I want to make a channel actually. Just kind of like showing and telling about like my thoughts about where we are right now, and when I mean like where we are, I mean kind of with everything going on. Pretty sure this title of this video is just going to be "Is Everything a Psyop?" Because I'm at that point now where I mean I'm questioning everything, but it's 2026 right now. Um, I really want to question the like what is going on. I feel like at this point, we live in a Truman Show, and we deserve better psyops. But this channel is kind of just be a lot about a lot of things, but I really wanted to talk about that. Is everything a psyop? And I want to start with 2020 and and just see if you guys follow me, and it'll make all make sense. But I'm really worried about the next couple of years on how 2020 is talked about. Um, and what I mean by that is are the numbers going to be? Are we going to be lied? Are we going to be lied to about the numbers? Right? Are we going to be told that a certain amount of people died that didn't die, and are the people in the next generation and growing up, are they going to be told that you know it was this terrible pandemic that killed millions, and and just is that what we're going to be told? Because if you're like me, I grew up through this, and I saw that this was all fake. I mean, this was all fake. We were told 2 weeks to slow the spread, 6 feet apart. We were told it's one of the worst pandemics ever, killed millions, and I don't even know if I didn't even ever got tested positive for having it, but I mean it was a freaking cold. It was a cold. It was not something that killed millions of people. I mean, and it was really used for political reasons with the election, and I just think that's one of the biggest psyops of our times. And I'm not going to stop talking about it. I'm going to make sure that it's told right in history. But that should worry you. I think if anyone that's listening, that should worry you how that's going to be told in history. And I hope that we all are loud and are not silenced about it, because I don't want this to be written in the history books incorrectly. So that's my thing. That's what kind of gets me going down this rabbit hole of everything's a psyop. And I really hope that if you're listening to this, you didn't take the vaccine for it. That alone already people got forced to take it, and we just know people aren't going to face justice for it. So I'm just never going to stop talking about that, and that's never going to not bother me. That people really lost their jobs and took something experimental like that, and then the effects of it with the whole Biden going in the office, who, holy crap, I mean, this guy was a freaking corpse. He was a corpse. I mean, how are you going to tell me that this guy had a stutter when this guy had no idea? Apologize. No idea where he was or what he was doing or what he was saying. I mean, the gaffes on him alone are just insane. That right there, just elder abuse. I mean, I didn't even like the guy. The guy was a piece of crap. The guy was in politics forever, and he did absolutely nothing. But I mean, part of me just got to be like, man, that is straight up elder abuse. But that whole COVID was really just that. I mean, it was for the elite to profit off of something horrible, which if you are paying attention, certain people always seem to profit over the worst possible situation happening. But also too, screwing up our elections with putting this corpse in office who had no business being there. His freaking kids and wife should have just put them in a retirement area or had them travel and just get them out of there. But I mean, that was messed up. And then, God, I get the Epstein files. Like, dude, we've lived through. I mean, and I say like we. I mean, the people that maybe are in their 20s or 30s, or at least online enough to see people being skeptical. I mean, we have lived through some insane psyops the last couple years, and I know there's this big disconnect with people like boomers that are watching cable and CNN and MSNBC and Fox, but you have people kind of like myself, and if you're watching this, like, you're online, you're watching YouTube, you're watching, you're on Twitter, you're seeing other forms of news where it's more people like us, where we're speaking our mind freely, and we're even going far as much as doing our own research and being the modern day news. And I just think there's a huge disconnect with the boomers and Gen Zs and millennials now because of that. They're getting their information differently, and it's hard to even talk to a boomer because they'll see what they see on Fox or CNN or MSNBC, like I said, and they'll buy that up and they'll accept that for truth. But I see people on videos that have done the research and are actually doing the extra steps. There's just a disconnect. But this is kind of my video is oh my gosh, everything's a psyop. You should be skeptical of everything. And I think the whole COVID thing really got me going down this rabbit hole. I also, in this video, I really want to talk about Charlie Kirk and TPUSA. I know it's a hot commodity right now, but that just worries me because, whether you're an American or not, this guy was authentic, and this guy stood up for his values, and he, was murdered in front of thousands of people. And that should worry everybody that happened. I mean, coincidences happen a lot nowadays, and I'm weird for questioning timing and coincidences, right? But this guy, Charlie Kirk, who was in charge of one of the largest nonprofits ever, so much influence, right? He starts questioning things about a group of people and what's going on and who's funding this, and all of a sudden, within hours, days, he gets murdered for it, right? And you're going to learn a little bit about me on this channel. I basically got into politics my senior year of high school. My senior year was the 2016 election. And apologies, me being in California, realizing that, elections here are rigged. They just are. I mean, they call elections in like 20 minutes here, right? Like, we're always going to be blue. Nothing's going to change with that. But no one ever questions that. I don't know. No one ever explains that or questions, when we do elections here. Everybody here hates Newsom too, by the way. But when we do elections here, that it's always blue. So anyway, back to my point. I got red pilled my senior year. I basically tell a girl that I didn't vote, and she proceeds to call me all the ists and homophobes and all whatever, anything in the book. And I just was kind of like, what do you mean? Like, that's like super weird. And then I, found out about the whole SJW YouTube compilations boom, and I think that kind of opened a lot of people's minds to the crazy lib mind. So really, really weird with that. But like I said, I used to listen to Ben Shapiro. I used to kind of be into that whole like red pill movement, and the longer I've been in it and the more I've seen now, I just it's just all different feathers of the same bird, and really they profit with us not getting along. And I think, Americans should get along, whatever you agree with or disagree with. Like, at the end of the day, no one should be celebrating, someone getting murdered, in front of thousands of college students. Like we can't be serious about that, right? But I don't trust Erica Kirk. This is pretty much my main point, is the coincidence of timing and this woman who I feel like majority of people did not know about up until Charlie Kirk was murdered. And she becomes the head of, a multi-million dollar, I mean, millions and millions of dollars. She becomes the head of the CEO of TPUSA. And this is a woman who, before Charlie Kirk, right, I didn't know who she was, but everyone's kind of doing the research now, is she used to be in Trump's beauty pageant. Obviously, she has ties. Her parents have ties to, elite companies and foreign countries, as we know. She was a wannabe actress. She's lied about small things, about not drinking and not dating people. It's just like, but boomers will believe it, right? They'll eat it up. But what are we doing? Like, she's lying about small things. She's lying about super small things, right? And you're telling me that she's not gonna lie about bigger things? Like, we're not gonna be skeptical of that at all. But I'm the bad guy if I mention that, right? Because she's on some stage of grieving when she needs WWE fireworks and go on these like press tours, like she loves it. Like, she's loving this right now. Her husband's gone, and she's a widow, and these children are basically without a dad, whoever these kids are. But she's loving it. She's just eating it up. You can't tell me otherwise. So I mean, this video is a lot of things, like I said, but this is just everything is a freaking psyop, and I'm gonna go kind of down the order of it. But highly skeptical of Erica Kirk. Something's wrong with her. 100%. Can't convince me otherwise. Charlie Kirk deserved better. His whole life was a Truman Show at this point. And yeah, and now he's gone. Whether you're American or not, you should be skeptical of this. And I know why other countries don't like us. I mean, our whole foreign policy is just absolutely a disaster. I mean, we spread all this peace by going and destabilizing all these other governments. Like come on. Like, we're just insane with that. So I don't know. This channel is just going to be about that. And I'd love to see people's thoughts about everything. What's a psyop that you like? What do you think about it? Am I just schizophrenic? Is our lives just Truman shows? What's with the Epstein files? What's going on? What is going on? So that's my video. Wish you guys a good one, and be talking soon. See ya. Bye.